I am listening to nearly 100 albums from the year 1955, and I just finished listening to a record by Clifford Brown and various others, Best Coast Jazz, released on MRC. Now, when I say Clifford Brown and a bunch of others, I mean Clifford Brown is kind of the main artist, but he is co credited along with the other musicians who played. So you have Herb Geller and Joe Maney on alto saxophone, Walter Benton on tenor sax, Kenny Drew on the piano, Curtis Counts on the bass, and of course Max Roach on the drums. And these recordings here came from the same sessions that produced the first two Clifford Brown and Max Roach collaboration records, and so of course this is going to be very high quality stuff. Now, granted, Brown and Roach here are working with a different supporting cast than usual, and that might play into the decision here to split this LP into two sides of one song apiece. You have Coronado on the first side, and you go to My Head on the second side. Both of these upwards of 15 minutes long, and it's really cool to kind of hear this different dynamic here as the musicians here are playing around with these different soloing ideas and just continuously expanding on them to the point where like musicians are taking multiple turns at solos and things like that. So you see each individual musician kind of taking these melodic ideas from these jazz standards and making variations on them themselves, not even just passing it between the two of them, but like Clifford Brown will play one solo one way, and then 32 bars later he'll do a different solo and play it just an entirely different way. So it's cool in that sense. I don't enjoy it quite as much, perhaps, as the other two Brown and Roach records that we've run into so far, but this is still, again, really excellent stuff, really good hard bop music, and so if you are interested in digging into the Brown and Roach stuff a bit more, especially if you've already heard a lot of it, Best Coast Jazz, worth checking out.